Hey guys, I am here today to do my no November 2016 wrap up. I completed 7 things, so that's better. Most of them were very tiny things, though. So yes, the first I'm going to talk about is the only book that I didn't really enjoy very much, and that is unfortunately my Agatha Christie. That was Poirot Investigates. This is a collection of short stories. Yeah, I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. I don't know, it did not work for me. I really enjoy her stories, um, but I definitely feel like a full length book is more appropriate for her style. I feel like I've mentioned this in like when I was talking about it, but basically there's like, 4 to 5 characters in a 15 to 30 page little thing. So I don't want to say it's obvious who the suspect is, but there's not enough intrigue, I guess, to get me going. I thought a lot of them were a little obvious, and I don't know. I was just like, meh. If you're not like a super Agatha Christie fan, I would not really recommend this. Although I must say that when I did look on the Goodreads, a lot of people gave this like 4 to 5 stars and talked about how great these were. And yeah, I do not agree, but I guess listen to other people's opinions as well, not just mine. Yeah, that was not super great. I read one graphic novel, which was Lock and Key Volume 2, Head Games. I thought this was absolutely amazing. This story is getting like more intense, and I'm getting really nervous. And yeah, I'm just, I need the third one. Hopefully, I'll get that next month because I'm like ready to plow through all of them. Basically, it's so good. Although I will say that I put a little bit too much space maybe between volumes 1 and 2 because I couldn't super remember everything. But it did a really good job of kind of reminding me without you know how some things are like last time on da da da. It does not do that at all. But the way that the narrative plays out, it kind of like, oh yeah, that happened. Oh yeah, that happened. So that was helpful. Um, oh, did I mention that I did not really finish any nonfiction books? I started 3 nonfiction books, and I did not complete any of them. I feel like I'm gonna not blame this on the election, but the books that I picked are very well. I don't know. I guess I should have read Ghost Map because that one was not super, too real. But Democracy Now! Blackboard is like too real for me right now. So I am planning on finishing them hopefully next month. But yeah, so these are 4 of the nonfiction books that I'm currently reading on my Goodreads, and then I've got a couple more, so I need to finish them because I do love nonfiction. I don't know why I just was not finishing them, and I realized it doesn't bum me out, but I feel like there's so much. It's kind of like Black History Month, Nonfiction November. It's like these months that are bringing attention to something that I think is wonderful, but I feel like it makes every other month like auto default to the other stuff. So I just want to make sure that I'm incorporating more nonfiction reading into my day-to-day life. And maybe next November I'll just like straight up only read nonfiction. That would be really cool, but we'll see. I did read 2 that are kind of nonfiction-y, which are the 2 of the books that I got at Wordstock. The first one is wondering if love is not constantly wondering if you're making the biggest mistake of your life, which is kind of set out as a choose your own adventure book. It's very slim. It's written by anonymous, so there's no author. Well, there is an author, but I don't know who the author is. And it's just kind of like journal entries of his time with a woman who is an alcoholic, and it was very, very good, and I'm going to definitely reread this. I read it front to back without doing the choose your own adventure stuff, but I am going to do choose adventure next time you read it. And it kind of it uses alien ants as kind of like a metaphor for being with someone who is an alcoholic. So to wait and see what emerges from the pulsating egg, turn to September 29th, 2003. If you decide to play it safe and use a torch to set fire to the nest before any more of the eggs show signs of life, turn to February 20th, 2004. And there's little illustrations throughout, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. And this is published by Perfect Day Publishing. And then the other one is a poetry collection, and it's Insert Boy by Denez Smith, and this is published by Yes Yes Books. Hopefully I'll remember to link these publishers below. And this was just so good. I think I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, and I think I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, or 3 or 4, and then I think this one I gave 4 or 5. I can't remember. I feel like most things are always kind of like in between 2 stars, but Goodreads, get your act together and give us half stars. So this is, it's really good. Some of them are really, really rough. He is a gay black man, and so it has themes of that in it, and of course the cover art is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I would super, super recommend this to people. I'm not a big poetry person, but I loved this a lot. And then the first thing that I finished at the very beginning of the month was Portuguese Irregular Verbs by Alexander McCall Smith, and this is the first book in, it says a Professor Dr. von Egelfeld entertainment, and this was an absolute riot. Basically, it's Professor Dr. Moritz Maria von Egelfeld of the Institute of Romance Philology is super full of himself, thinks he's absolutely amazing, and it is seriously so, so funny. I definitely want to read the rest of the books in the series. I've never read Alexander McCall Smith before, and now I definitely want to read more of his works, because this was really, really funny. I also read The Meek One by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I also thought this was an absolute laugh riot, and the main character of this is obviously also completely like full of himself and thinks that he's absolutely amazing. And I don't know why that just like makes me laugh so much, seeing how people perceive themselves in such a wrong way, but they're just convinced that they're just, wonderful. I don't know. I thought it was fantastic. This was translated by Ronald Meyer. So yeah, this is about a man. Sorry, I feel like I'm not giving synopses of anything. Whatever. This is about a man who owns a pawn shop, and he falls in love with one of the girls who's she's selling things because she's trying to put an ad in a paper to become like a maid or a nanny or something of a family, and so he kind of like falls for her and wants to marry her, and yeah, it's really funny and tragic though, but in a funny way. I like, funny tragic things. Those are great. And the last thing that I have to talk about was the reason that I was not really reading nonfiction, because I was just all up in this situation. This is The Story of the Lost Child by Elena Ferrante, translated, I'm going to assume, by Anne Goldstein. Yes, by Anne Goldstein, and this is Maturity and Old Age, and oh my god! I am so happy but so sad that I'm finished with this series. I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna try to reread it next year in Italian. Crossing my fingers on that one. Yeah, it's masterful. It's fantastic. I cried so much. It's just so hard. There's a lot of like mother-daughter themes in this book, and my mom had just left because my mom was visiting, and I finished this like right after she left, and there's a lot of like daughters leaving their mother. My hair is driving me completely insane. And so I cried, of course, a ton because of that. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like she writes a lot. She captures like human emotions and relationships so well. But like all I can think of now that I've finished is I have never in my life wanted the story told from the second person so much. Like I would kill for Leela's story. I would kill for it. I'm so curious because like you're only getting it from Elena's perspective, and she talks about, all of these things, and I just like I really wish that I knew how Leela basically handled everything and how she perceived their friendship, and it was so good though, and like the end takes everything full circle so beautifully, and so good. I really recommend continuing on if you've started the series. I feel like there's a bunch of people that don't like My Brilliant Friend, and I must say, I think, oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys, my hair always drives me crazy, but I do feel like the third one is probably my favorite of the 4. And I feel like there's a bunch of people that have only read the first one but really liked it. And I just have to say, like, it gets better. So you should continue. It definitely gets better. I feel like the themes get so much heavier, and there's just so much about feminism and just everything, and it's just so good. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay, well, those are the things that I finished last month. We'll see what happens this month. Fingers crossed that I can finish some of the books that I'm in the middle of, because they're just right there, and this is awkward. Okay, there, right. That stack, and then a few more spread around. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you read. Weird. Let me know what you read. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you have thought of them. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great day.